So he went, and when the doctor told him he had leprosy, his heart dropped. Who would work the store? How would they make any money? And how would they survive? The next day, he packed up all of his belongings and headed outside the city limits where all the lepers were staying. Each day, his wife would bring him some food, but only from a distance. She would call out his name, and when she saw him, she would place the food on the ground and step back. He would thank her, tell her that he loved her, and off she went. Day after day, week after week, it was the same thing. He could tell she was getting discouraged, and so was he. The lack of human contact, the loss of holding his children, putting them into bed every night and getting those goodnight kisses. Life just wasn't the same, and more than likely, never would be. But one day, one of the lepers came up to him, all excited, telling him he had heard of a man who was able to heal the sick and even cleanse those with leprosy. Could this be true? The more he thought about it, the more he felt this was his chance. This was his moment. This was his opportunity to get his life back. So knowing what the consequences could be, he set off on a journey to find this man who was able to heal him. He searched and searched and searched, and finally he heard a large crowd. He thought to himself, is this the man who can heal me? He started running. The people in the crowd were screaming and running away from him because of his leprosy, but he was so determined to reach this man. And when he reached him, he fell to his knees. If you are willing, you can heal me and make me clean, he said. Moved with compassion, Jesus reached out and touched him. I am willing, he said. Be healed. Instantly, the leprosy disappeared and the man was healed. Now, why would Jesus do something like this? Why would he do something that was not only forbidden, but a death wish in most people's eyes? It says he was moved with compassion. Compassion is stirred out of love. So because of this unexplainable love that Jesus had for the man with leprosy, and that he has for you and for me, he's able to go out and do what no other man has ever done before. This love changes everything. His love changes everything. It says in 1 Corinthians 13, love is patient, love is kind. It does not envy, it does not boast. It is not proud, it is not rude, it is not easily angered, it is not self-seeking. It keeps no record of wrongs. Love does not delight in evil, but rejoices with the truth. It always protects, always trusts, always hopes, always perseveres. Love never fails. If love never fails, why are we always trying to find new ways of ministering to the lost throughout all of our decades? In the 50s and 60s, we had to preach fire and brimstone from the street corners. Let's scare them into heaven. In the 70s, we bought huge school buses and brought them to church in them. In the 80s, we had to have the best worship music. And now we're in the media trend, where we have to have all the new media, all the new videos, all the new programs, just to keep their interest. We don't need all of the new stuff. Does it help? Absolutely. But we didn't see Jesus backing up the bus to a wedding reception, telling them that they're all going to hell, and that they need to come to the synagogue so they could be led by a great 20-person worship team that would usher them into the presence of God. And then they would sit down and watch an incredible 5-step PowerPoint sermon that would teach them how to get saved. I love what Paul says to the church of Corinth in 1 Corinthians 13:1. If I speak in tongues of men and of angels, but have not love, I am only a resounding gong or a clanging cymbal. This has been going on for too long. Too many people and too many churches just like us are just making noise and nothing else. Without love, we can do nothing, and we are nothing. If I can't love my neighbor as myself, then I am useless. If I can't love my enemy, I am no better than they are. And if I can't love those who are in need, I have nothing myself. Can you imagine Jesus ministering to the man with leprosy without love? Yeah, sure, I'll heal you. Bam! There you go. Now get out of here. You're bothering me. Would any of those that Jesus ministered to follow him after that? Absolutely not. We need to be ministering with the same love that Jesus has if we want to see lives changed. His love changes everything. His love is what brought large crowds together. His love delivers the brokenhearted, healed the sick, raised the dead, cleansed the leper. This love, this never-ending love, this incomparable love, uncontrollable, unexplainable, powerful love. This love, the love of Jesus.